Hi everyone, I am Bintang from State Polytechnic of Padang and I take English department as my major. My student's number is 20011222024 and in this lovely day I would like to present my presentations with the title The Impact of COVID-19 to Indonesia Education. Ladies and gentlemen, in this today's presentations I take three main topics of discussions. The first is what is coronavirus and why it is so dangerous. The second is how the Ministry of Education respond to the situations and what is their policy so that education can run like usual. And the last is the positive side and negative side of e-learning. Well, before I come to the main topic, I would like to tell you the introductions of my presentations. Well, the policies are already taken by many countries, including Indonesia, by dismissing all educational activities that makes the governments and the related institutions must present alternative educations, and that is e-learning. And all of this caused by the coronavirus. Next is, we come to the first topic. What is coronavirus and why it is so dangerous? Well, coronavirus is an infectious disease and it caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it can cause a mild to moderate respiratory illness if we got infected by the virus, and it can be infected in humans and also can be in animals. And we have to take a bold in here that anyone can get sick with COVID-19 and become seriously ill or die at any age. So this is make the government take this policy because they don't want the Indonesia generations get infected by the coronavirus. And how can we protect ourselves in these situations? Well, we have to staying at least 1 meter apart from others, wearing a mask, washing our hands when we are going from the outside, and we are arriving at home, we have to wash our hands and also change our clothes. And we have to get vaccinated, and that's the main point. Next is, like you can see in front of you, there is a coronavirus daily cases chart, and the coronavirus started to spread from January 2020 and in the year 2020. And the highest case is on May 16, 2021, and now, like we can see, the chart is begun to decrease and hopefully it's constantly decrease. The second topic is how the Ministry of Education responds to the situations and what is their policy so the educations can run like usual. Well, number one is the cancellations of the national exam or the UN, and it is already begun from 2020, and from the senior high school until the junior high school has already canceled stations for the national exam. And number two is adjustments of the school exam. Number three is implementations of the distance learning. And this is the hardly part because at the first time we may be hard to blend with this distance learning, but as the time goes by we can learn by e-learning and we can get used to it. And number three is the online approach to the process of the student registrations. And the last is the flexible use of the school operational assistant or BOS and the educational operational assistant or BOP to meet school needs during this pandemic. Besides giving us the policy about how the e-learning works, the government also give an effort to help students in these current situations. Number one is the launching a national TV stations to the air educational programs because televisions has a far greater reach compared to the internet in the country. And number 2, dramatically simplify the curriculum to focus on the essential numeracy and literacy skills and giving the teachers time to adapt to the remote teachings. The 3 is allowing schools the freedoms to spend a national budget allocated to the items such as laptops and tablets to help their students. And the last is subsidizing mobile data for students to improve their access to the e-learning. Next, we're gonna discuss about the positive side and negative sides of online educations or e-learning. Number 1, it costs less and more economical. And the students don't need to pay for costs such as transportations, a student's meal, and also for students who living far from their campus area, they don't need to rent for a boarding school. And number 2 is all learning materials are available online, and students don't need to use a lot of paper because it's more affordable and as well as it's beneficial for the environment. And the 3 is more flexible, and this allows students to attend class from any locations and at any time. And next is students learn more independently. They not depend on what their teachers give to them, and they can search from the online such as Google from their subject, and that can enlarge their horizons. And next is Indonesia education is more advanced because the students will get used in using the modern technology. Next is the negative sides of the e-learning. Well, e-learning causes students lack of interactions between others. And lack of communications brings a bad impact for students' mental health, such as it can give the students a stress and anxiety and also give them a negative thoughts. And number 2, students need a strong self-motivation and also needs a good time management skills. Number 3, lack of communicational skills. And we all know that when we are face-to-face and also online, like the presentations that I'm doing right now is absolutely different when I do presentations in front of the class. And like what you can see now, I'm very happy to deliver a presentation, but when I'm in front of class, I maybe will get a panic attack and others, and that is the negative sides of the e-learning. We can't feel it. Next is the limited to create disciplines on students, causing stress on students. Like what I have told you before, that is because the lack of interactions between others and between their friends. And the last is hard to understand the material. Now we come to the summary of my presentations. Well, e-learning or face-to-face learning is a student choice, whether they like e-learning or offline learning or face-to-face learning. Maybe for the students who like e-learning, they can study by working, they can help their parents while studying, and also they give a freedoms to studying as much as they want and at any time. And also for the students who like face-to-face learning, maybe they like the situations to study in the classroom and also like the professors or teachers teaching in front of the class. And yeah, it's back on students' need. And we all know that both of the studying have their positive and a negative side. Well, that's all about my presentation today. Thank you very much for your kindly attention. Have a nice day and see you.